Welcome back to Overwrite, the show where we rethink games. I'm Kuomon.
And I'm Cy.
And this is checkpoint number 1 in our Overwrite journey through, cue the music, Legend of Zelda.
Majora's Mask.
So yeah, in this little new format we want to try out, we're going to be talking a bit about things that we may not have a chance to talk through the journey. But just to give you a quick recap, by this point in Majora's Mask, we have gone through the first 3-day cycle in the game.
Yep.
And I was thinking while playing through it, one of the things about that first 3-day cycle, irrespective of the other ones, is there's really not a lot you can do.
Right.
Like there's a very clearly set path throughout that very first cycle. Like the game begins. Okay, so you have the opening of the game with the quick text and Link on the horseback and the whole situation with Tato and the Skull Kid happens, and you get basically dragged to Termina.
Right.
And once you leave through those front doors, and then dawn of the first day opens up. Even though the game sets up that there's this impending doom coming, you need to find, the game's like, you need to find Skull Kid because there's impending doom. You need to get your ocarina back because something terrible might happen. Even the Happy Mask salesman is going there's this sense of urgency that you need to do things, but there's really, you're really powerless. There's not much you can do as your Deku Scrub form.
It's pretty frustrating playing through that first cycle because, there's nothing you can really do about the fact that the world might end, the moon might fall 3 days later. Okay,
so we leave through the doors, and the first thing Tato goes is what are we supposed to do? How are we need to find the Skull Kid. And she's like, well, maybe we need somebody more powerful, right? Because you're a Deku Scrub at this point, and you don't really have, you have skills, but they're not really meaningful in any, useful way. So she's like, let's look for somebody who actually has power, like the Great Fairy.
Okay.
So yeah, there's kind of this frantic sense through that first cycle, where there's not really much, you're trying to look throughout town for other people that can help you track the Skull Kid.
Yeah.
But, there's always obstacles in the way, so all the guards are doing, the little squat thing and, oh, you can't leave town because you don't have a weapon.
Because you're a kid.
Because you're a Deku Scrub kid and you're trying to get back to the swamp.
You do, get the Bombers' help, and you go in the Bombers'
because
hideout.
There's this idea with the Bombers that they're kind of like this secret network of kids. So if anybody has information how to reach the Skull Kid or anything that might help your situation, it could be them.
Yeah.
But even in that case, really all you get out of that is a chance to go to the observatory, talk to another adult who is also powerless to really help you.
Yeah. I think the one character that helps you the most is actually the Scarecrow, and he only fast forwards time.
He only dances to the inevitability of your death.
Fast forwarding time. That's all you That's all the help you really get.
Scarecrow's going all existentialist here, hey dude, we're gonna die anyway. So why don't we just dance? You just dance and then forget about your problems. Just dance. You're gonna be dead anyway. So you go to the observatory and you notice that Skull Kid is on top of the tower. So it's okay, I'm gonna go get to the top tower.
This is where I have to go.
As a scrub, the game won't let you just climb up to the tower.
You do try and go get help from the adults and the more powerful characters, and you find out that they've all been fucked up by the Skull Kid anyway. So the Great Fairy's been broken in pieces, and the Bombers were they admitted the Skull Kid, and something happened. You never get that information, but they don't accept non-human kids anymore. And then the old man in the observatory also says something about the Skull Kid. I can't really recall, but
he calls him a troublemaker, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, are you a new friend of the bombers? Like, I hope you're not a troublemaker. I think that's kind of what he hints at.
Yeah,
when you have your small conversation with him. So I think that's one of the interesting things the first cycle in the game establishes is it really gives you, it sets the tone for you to empathize with the situation all the other characters are in.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great game design because this game has amazing game design. Because in the beginning, and I talked about this in one of the episodes, but in the beginning, the reason why you even go in a terminal and you do all the things that you're doing in the first cycle is very personal to Link, and it's, I guess, very personal to the player. But it's you're trying to fix.
You're trying to get back your stuff. First of all,
you're trying to get back your stuff because the Skull Kid took your ocarina and your horse, and it turned you into this wood thing, misshapen wood thing. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get back everything that was taken from you, and you're trying to get back at the Skull Kid for like fucking your shit up. And that 3-day cycle is when you learn about everything that's going on, and you learn about the fact that the world is going to end in 3 days, and the moon is going to fall, and everyone is losing their fucking minds about it. And then when you go back, you finally get your ocarina, and you go back in time, and you finally like. You can do something about it, yeah.
Right, but like, well, technically, like the only thing that changes at that point is you still have your ocarina.
Yeah, but
you don't like if you go through that. If you try to go through the cycle again, you're gonna like smash against the same wall. Like there's nothing you can really do,
right? Unless
you turn around and
you go back in. If you go exploring, you're gonna notice that it's the exact same thing as the first 3-day cycle, except. You go back and talk to the mask salesman, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, you got your ocarina back.
Right.
I can get you into your original form." And that's when you can actually do something about it. So that's when you get like your 2 superpowers for this game, which is that you can turn back time, and that you can change shapes. You can become like other stuff.
Yes. Yeah, so for me, like your superpower really is being able to turn back time because you know what the events are, and now you have a chance to try and at least, if not completely save everybody, at least try and change destiny a bit for each of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this story.
I don't.
But
second time I told that joke.
Let me tell the story first and then react. So during I think we talked during the show about how the development for this game was really short.
Yeah.
A year, but I don't think we touched on. So during development, a couple of the developers, I believe it was at least Eiji Aonuma and Yoshiaki Koizumi. At one point, they went to a wedding in Korea, and oddly enough. Kind of like similar to what's happening right now, there was a lot of worry that a missile might be shot, and they talk about in an interview how during that wedding it was very weird for them to be in this situation where you're supposed to be happy, where it's supposed to be kind of like a happy occasion, but there was this kind of sense of dread in the air from everybody around that might be the last. That might be the last day on Earth for all those people. That we might actually die and not see tomorrow.
Holy shit!
And so like they've never publicly talked about this, but you can kind of see from the interviews they've given over the years. I think that really kind of ended up informing a bit of the tone for the game and what they were kind of trying to get at.
Forget a bit of the tone. It's like. It's put in directly in the game, the exact same situation.
We're not spoiling the game yet.
We're gonna see that later, but it's and it's all about the living through hope and living with
like having
being happy about the small stuff, even though like in the face of
in the face of impending doom, at least making memories you can cherish because if not for you, for everybody else. And I think that's kind of like what Link ends up doing throughout the game. But you'll see that later on in the journey because we have run out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this first checkpoint for Majora's Mask.
I did.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.